Yeah.
And there's like thousands of fans out there waiting to say hi to you.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Do you like the touring life? Do you like the...
Yeah, I enjoy, living on the bus.
Yeah.
Well, Willie, it's good to see you again.
You too, Dad.
How the hell are you?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, no complaints.
Well, I've been worried about your health. I read by the papers you had this surgery, this operation.
Yeah, but that helped a lot.
Willie Nelson's name has become almost synonymous with American country music. With his unique blend of outlaw country, folk, and rock, he's captivated fans worldwide with not only his iconic sound, but his fearless lifestyle. Willie has been more than just a voice on the radio. He's a symbol of rebellion, freedom, and independence, qualities that have defined his career. Now, at 91 years old, Willie Nelson has finally broken his silence, sharing insights and reflections that fans have speculated about for decades. His recent confession offers an intimate look behind the scenes of his extraordinary life, one that defies both musical and societal conventions. For years, fans have wondered what drove Willie's commitment to his free-spirited ways. From his fight for personal freedoms and his open advocacy for causes close to his heart, to the controversies and hardships he's faced, Willie's life has been a series of bold choices. His refusal to conform wasn't just an image. It was an identity rooted in personal philosophies, sacrifices, and the lessons he learned along the way. Now, as he reflects on his life, Willie is finally revealing what's been at the core of his journey, insights that deepen our understanding of his music and his mission. In this exploration, we'll journey through the highs and lows of Willie Nelson's life, his struggles, his victories, and the moments that almost brought him down. Each chapter sheds light on a different facet of his path, from the unorthodox lifestyle choices that set him apart to the secrets that he's carried with him all these years. What kept him so resolutely tied to his outlaw ways? What philosophies fueled his decisions? And how has he managed to remain a beloved icon across generations? Join us as we dive into the untold story of Willie Nelson, exploring the confessions that reveal the man behind the legend. This is a journey of resilience, self-discovery, and, above all, authenticity. One that shows us the true depth of an American music legend, who, even in his final years, continues to inspire and surprise. Willie Nelson's path to becoming a country legend wasn't conventional. His life's journey is as unpredictable as the music he has produced, marked by hardships, resilience, and a determination to carve his own way. Born on April 29, 1933, in Abbott, Texas, Willie grew up during the Great Depression, experiencing poverty and challenges that would later shape his music and identity. Raised by his grandparents after his parents left, young Willie found solace and escape in music. Singing gospel hymns in church and tuning into country and jazz stations on the radio, Willie developed a love for various genres that would later inform his unique style. From an early age, Willie had an innate talent for songwriting, crafting lyrics that reflected a raw, honest portrayal of life's highs and lows. His first brush with fame, however, didn't come easy. Moving to Nashville in the 1960s to pursue a music career, he quickly realized that his unconventional style didn't fit with the polished, formulaic image that Nashville demanded. While he wrote chart toppers like Crazy for Patsy Cline and Hello Walls for Farron Young, the city's top producers and executives struggled to see Willie as a star in his own right. His distinct voice, unconventional looks, and disregard for Nashville's clean-cut persona put him on the fringe rather than in the spotlight. Frustrated with Nashville's rigid structure, Willie returned to Texas in the early 1970s, where he could make music on his own terms. There, he found a community that embraced his rebellious style, and in Texas, he grew into the artist we recognize today. Teaming up with Waylon Jennings and other Mavericks, Willie became a leading figure in the outlaw country movement, a genre that defied the mainstream. Together, they blended traditional country with blues, rock, and folk, creating music that resonated with audiences yearning for authenticity. Willie's iconic albums, including Red-Headed Stranger and Shotgun Willie, emerged from this period of creative freedom. The songs on these albums were a direct reflection of his life and beliefs, often blurring the line between his experiences and the music. With songs about heartbreak, redemption, love, and loss, Willie's lyrics tapped into universal truths, making him a relatable and beloved figure to fans across the country. His willingness to be vulnerable and unfiltered drew audiences who felt his music was the voice of a generation that questioned authority and valued individuality. But his journey to stardom wasn't without sacrifice. Leaving Nashville and choosing the path less traveled meant financial instability and facing critics who didn't understand his unconventional style. Yet Willie's resilience and passion kept him going. He remained committed to his unique vision, refusing to alter his music to fit the industry's mold. His songs not only spoke to a changing America, but also to those who felt lost in society's expectations. This was just the beginning. As Willie Nelson's fame grew, so did the rumors, stories, and legends that would cement him as a true American icon. His rise to fame was not just about making music, but about living a life that defied convention, a life that would inspire and shape the country music genre forever. Willie Nelson's fame brought with it a reputation that extended far beyond his music. As he embraced the outlaw persona, he also took on a lifestyle that made him a living legend, often seeming larger than life. With his signature braids, bandanas, and worn jeans, Willie defied the slick, polished image of mainstream country music, crafting his own brand of authenticity. It wasn't just his looks that marked him as an outlaw. It was the way he lived. Nelson's life became a testament to freedom, rebellion, and a relentless refusal to conform, and his fans embraced every bit of it. One of the most defining aspects of Willie's lifestyle has been his open advocacy for cannabis use. Long before it gained wider social acceptance, this defiance of convention wasn't just a quirk, it became part of his identity. His use of cannabis was as much a part of his persona as his music. For Willie, it symbolized personal freedom, and he became one of the most vocal advocates for its legalization. While his stance raised eyebrows in the industry, it also cemented his place as a cultural icon, especially among fans who admired his openness and willingness to stand up for his beliefs, despite the risk to his reputation and career. His openness about cannabis use has led to more than a few brushes with the law, and each story only fueled the fire of his legendary status. Beyond his advocacy, the tales surrounding Willie grew more infamous over the years. He seemed to live by his own rules, whether it was his late-night recording sessions, impromptu jam sessions with other musicians, or the legendary parties on his tour bus. The stories of Trigger, his beat-up Martin guitar that he refused to replace, became part of the Willie Nelson mythos. This was a man who treated his guitar like an old friend, its worn-out body and sound emblematic of the authenticity he cherished in both his music and his life. However, the outlaw lifestyle came with its own set of consequences. Nelson faced severe financial troubles, culminating in a high-profile battle with the IRS in the 1990s. Due to mismanagement and years of unpaid taxes, he owed millions to the government, a debt so substantial that it could have ended his career entirely. Rather than shy away from the crisis, Willie confronted it head-on with characteristic humor and resilience. He recorded an album, The IRS Tapes, Who'll Buy My Memories, specifically to help pay off his debt, turning an overwhelming setback into yet another testament to his determination. The fans rallied around him, and his approach made him even more beloved, embodying the spirit of an outlaw who never backed down from a fight. Throughout his career, Willie also dealt with rumors of wild nights, close calls, and frequent encounters with the law. Yet, he always managed to emerge on the other side, his reputation as a folk hero only growing stronger. His outlaw status was not a manufactured image, but rather an authentic representation of a man who lived by his principles. His followers saw a part of themselves in him, someone who didn't pretend to be perfect, who made mistakes but faced them with honesty and humor. In the eyes of fans, Willie Nelson became more than just a musician. He was a symbol of living freely and staying true to oneself. His calm, unbothered demeanor in the face of scandals and challenges intrigued the public, leaving them to wonder if there was a deeper philosophy guiding his every move. In reality, Nelson's outlaw lifestyle was less about rebelling for rebellion's sake, and more about a dedication to personal freedom and an unshakable sense of integrity. Behind Willie Nelson's calm smile and easygoing demeanor lies a story of resilience that goes beyond his music. Although he presented himself as a laid-back, carefree country star, Nelson's life has been anything but simple. From financial crises to personal heartbreaks, he has faced challenges that would test even the toughest of souls. And while Willie's music often celebrates freedom and the open road, his journey has included struggles that few truly understand. One of Nelson's most well-known struggles came in the late 1980s, when he found himself owing millions to the IRS. Years of financial mismanagement and an outstanding tax bill left Willie facing a debt that threatened to take everything from him. The situation was dire. The IRS seized many of his assets, and he was left with only the clothes on his back and his old guitar, Trigger. Despite this crushing financial blow, Willie confronted the setback with remarkable resilience and humor. Rather than retreat from the public eye or shy away from his financial woes, he took an unconventional approach. He recorded the IRS tapes, Who Will Buy My Memories, an album specifically designed to help him pay off his debts. His fans rallied behind him, and he gradually climbed his way back to stability, turning a near disaster into a story of perseverance. But financial troubles were just one part of a complex life. Nelson's personal life, too, was marked by the challenges of balancing fame, relationships, and family. Over the years, his relationships were tested, sometimes strained by the pressures of his career and his unconventional lifestyle. Willie's 4 marriages and his efforts to maintain relationships with his children were often complicated by his hectic touring schedule, and he openly admitted that the life of a traveling musician came with sacrifices. Yet, he always tried to be present for his family, even as the demands of his career pulled him in different directions. His loyalty to his loved ones became another defining trait of his character, adding depth to the man fans saw on stage. Nelson's personal struggles also included moments of loss that deeply affected him. The deaths of close friends and fellow musicians, particularly his close collaborator Waylon Jennings, left lasting impacts on his life and music. For Willie, these losses were a reminder of life's brevity and the importance of living without regrets. Through it all, Nelson turned to his music as a source of healing, using his songs to process the pain and pay tribute to those he lost along the way. Tracks like Always on My Mind and Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain took on new meaning as listeners recognized the heartfelt reflections of a man who had known both love and loss. Despite the weight of these struggles, Willie maintained a quiet strength, rarely letting his hardships define him. Instead, he embraced life's imperfections, finding beauty and resilience. It was this approach, one of acceptance and endurance, that endeared him to fans who saw in him not just an outlaw, but a survivor who faced life's storms with an unwavering spirit. For Willie, the journey was as much about survival as it was about freedom, and his music remains a testament to both. At 91, Willie Nelson has outlived his peers, outlasted his critics, and defied expectations. Over the years, fans and industry insiders alike have speculated about his motivations, his choices, and the philosophy that guided his unconventional life. But it wasn't until recently that Nelson, in a rare candid moment, chose to address the questions that have followed him for decades. His confession wasn't a revelation of scandal or controversy. It was something much deeper, a glimpse into the heart of a man who has always followed his own path. In a recent interview, Nelson opened up about his outlaw lifestyle, admitting that his seemingly rebellious choices were never about seeking attention or defying norms just for the sake of it. Instead, they were driven by a lifelong pursuit of freedom, independence, and a commitment to living authentically. His public embrace of cannabis, his advocacy for farmers, and his indifference to the typical celebrity lifestyle all stem from a deeply held belief in personal freedom. For Nelson, life has always been about staying true to himself, even when the world demanded he fit a certain mold. It was never about shocking anyone, he admitted. It was about doing what felt right for me. Nelson's confession also included a reflection on his regrets, a rarity for a man who has long projected a laid-back, carefree image. Willie admitted there were times he wished he'd prioritized family over his career, moments he might have spent differently, and relationships he could have nurtured more. Yet, he expressed gratitude for the lessons each experience taught him, even the painful ones. I wouldn't change a thing, he shared, because every mistake taught me something I needed to know. This honesty struck a chord with fans, revealing a man who views his life not through the lens of fame, but through a desire to grow and learn, even from the hardest experiences. The interview also revealed Nelson's perspective on his role in the music industry. For decades, He has been seen as an icon of individuality and resilience, a symbol for those who refuse to conform. Willie acknowledged that this role came with a certain responsibility, one he takes seriously. He has always aimed to inspire others to follow their own path, to make their own choices, and to embrace their unique journeys. By embracing his mistakes and triumphs alike, Willie showed that authenticity is its own kind of strength, one that resonates far beyond the stage. Ultimately, Willie's confession was less about sharing secrets and more about sharing wisdom, a legacy of lessons learned through decades of triumph and struggle. His words offered a final insight into what makes him tick, affirming what fans have long believed, that Nelson's outlaw spirit was never about rebellion alone, but a testament to his unwavering belief in personal freedom, authenticity, and resilience. In the end, Willie's greatest confession was simply the truth of a life lived honestly, with all its joys and imperfections. Willie Nelson's recent revelations have added profound depth to an already legendary legacy, painting a picture of an artist and man who has always valued authenticity over acclaim. Fans who have followed him for decades now see beyond the outlaw persona and recognize a life defined by choices rooted in self-discovery, compassion, and the pursuit of freedom. Nelson's admission doesn't tarnish his image. Instead, it transforms it, illustrating that his outlaw identity was not just about rebellion, but about living a life true to his own beliefs. By opening up about his motivations and even regrets, Nelson has reinforced his legacy as more than just a country music icon. He's become a symbol of resilience and honesty. Fans who admired his music for its rawness and truthfulness now feel an even deeper connection, realizing that his lyrics were never just for show. They reflected his real struggles, aspirations, and the wisdom he's gained from both triumphs and failures. Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain and On the Road Again resonate differently now, with listeners able to hear the life stories embedded within each line, knowing they were penned by someone who lived and felt every word. This new dimension of his legacy has also made him a role model for younger generations of artists. In an industry often criticized for pressuring artists to conform to trends, Nelson stands as a testament to the power of individuality. His willingness to embrace his mistakes and talk about his journey openly serves as a reminder to those coming up in the industry that they don't have to be perfect to succeed. By setting his own standards, Nelson has shown that authenticity can build a lasting legacy, one that outshines fleeting fame. Modern musicians from all genres, country, rock, folk, and beyond, now cite Nelson's honesty and longevity as something to aspire to, not just in their careers, but in their lives. Willie's confession has also strengthened his connection with fans who see him as a friend, a mentor, and a voice for the average person. His openness about his struggles makes him more relatable, showing that even the biggest icons experience the same life challenges. It reaffirms his image as someone who's not above anyone else, but rather, someone who has walked the same paths as his fans. For many, this admission has taken him from a mythical status to someone real and grounded, reminding fans why they loved him in the first place. The impact of his confession isn't just felt in his personal image, but in the greater narrative of country music. By being a true outlaw and forging his own path, Willie Nelson has challenged the genre's boundaries, paving the way for future artists to speak their truth and defy expectations. His legacy is now a testament to the strength that comes from embracing one's imperfections, living one's truth, and always staying connected to the music's roots and purpose. For fans, Nelson's life story, now more honest and complete, serves as a lasting inspiration, a reminder that true greatness isn't found in perfection, but in embracing the journey, flaws, and all. At 91, Willie Nelson's reflections offer invaluable wisdom to younger artists and fans alike. He has become a mentor, his words resonating with those navigating the pressures of fame, the music industry, and the constant search for authenticity. To Willie, the most important lesson is simple yet profound. Stay true to yourself. Let the music guide you, and embrace the journey with all its flaws and triumphs. Nelson has always advocated for individuality, encouraging musicians to resist the industry's pressures to fit a mold. His career shows the rewards of blazing one's own trail, proving that success need not come at the cost of integrity. Do what you love, and the rest will follow. He often says, a mantra that has carried him through countless challenges. To the next generation, he stresses that mistakes aren't failures. They're steps along the path, building resilience and character. In a world that demands perfection, Willie's message is to welcome imperfection as part of growth. Willie's advice, shaped by decades of highs and lows, resonates beyond music. He has shown that authenticity, more than fame or approval, is the key to fulfillment. His openness about his journey, embracing the rough edges as well as the triumphs, gives younger artists permission to be themselves and to make art that reflects their true selves. Nelson's message is a call to courage, urging others to pursue their dreams without compromising who they are. In the end, Willie Nelson's legacy will be remembered not only for the music he created, but for the values he championed. Through his honesty and resilience, he leaves a lasting influence on the next generation, a reminder that the most meaningful journeys are those lived boldly and true to oneself.